everybody, I'm Kimberly with My Victorian Heart, and I have missed you, so I'm glad to be back. I was a little under the weather, and so I'm much better now, back on my feet working, and I would love to create something with you. So we're going to work on this handcrafted Holiday Traditions beautiful heart ornament, and it comes bagged like this, and this wonderful family here in the USA makes these, and they have all kinds of shapes. We carry a lot of them in our store and at myvictorianheart.com. This comes in 3 pieces, and this is number 0029. Okay, and this one, this smaller piece of heart actually fits into the frame here. So it's like the cutout. And you can leave it in and use it as your base if you'd like, or you can use the larger piece and you can apply it on the back, and you can use it as like you can sort of frame your object in here, or you can use the smaller piece and put your decoupage on here. You can also alternatively fit the smaller piece on the front of the larger piece, okay? And then you mount them on the front like this, and it kind of gives it dimension. And then you can, you know, you could take contour liner and, you know, trim them out here like that. You can put the tiny beaded chain and trim them that way. I mean, there's so many options. You can paint these, stencil these, glitter them. So lots of options with the handcrafted Holiday Tradition ornament bases. And this is the paper we'll be working with today. These are Darling Lovebirds. This is made by Reba Rose Creations. She is a designer in the Pacific Northwest. And we are going to use this design of these pretty little birds right here. And this paper is wonderful because the birds, all the designs on this paper, every single one of them, there are 6, fit perfectly in the frame of this ornament. So I'm going to put the camera down and we're going to get started. And you know, thank you so much for being here, and I hope that this inspires you to make something really creative and beautiful. Thank you. So I'm gonna get to it now. Okay, so we are gonna base coat our MDF heart ornament by Handcrafted Holiday Traditions in a white coat of Pentart Decor Chalky paint. That dark insides there, it'll get covered. And on the sides, I just kind of pounce the brush. It seems to be a little easier. Kind of pounce and brush. So now we'll set this aside and we'll base coat these 2 cuties with the white Decor Chalky paint by Pentart. Okay, I'll dry. So we want to use this one here, like this. Go in with a pencil, make a line. Not really how I like to do it. And then is what I do is I go around outside the pencil line. I'm gonna tear outside that line so I don't, you know, tear too much paper. So we're gonna make notches right here. like this, so you can get it started. So we just want to adhere this on the back, and you can see how your little lovebirdies are going to fit nice and tidy in here. See? Perfect. So I think that's what I want to do. I think we're going to have to park this on here so I get it on there straight. Just probably go ahead and glue it. Get it done. My Pentart glue. Just sort of brush it around. Even it out. Pentart Express Glue is great. You really don't need to go in real heavy with this glue. I probably usually put too much, but everything always stays adhered, so I must be doing something right. There we go. Solid flat surface. I glue off of there. So I'm going to just make sure I center this like so. Gently rubbing in with my finger. And then I'll use the brush to tamp it down in there with decoupage glue. So we're just going to go like that. Okay, there we go. Be very pretty. And I forgot to show you the Pentart Express glue, but this is what we used to attach the heart to the back. So we're gonna let that dry, and I'll probably do one more coat of decoupage varnish and glue after it dries. Okay. It's gonna have to sit and dry a little bit. I feel like, you know, there's only one way to find out if we're gonna like one color over the other, and that's just pick one and paint it. I don't think hemming and hawing too much about it is going to get me anywhere. Okay, I have pretty much painted all of this MDF ornament by Handcrafted Holiday Traditions, and the back, and I took the time to paint inside all the little areas where the little ornate flourishes curve and everything. It probably took me about, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes, I will say, it's a little tedious, you know, but yeah, I think it's really worth the time. So on the back, I have to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to use another bird image, probably, possibly. And, but I don't know, maybe not. Okay, all done. So this has to dry, and the inside of this frame where it's white, I am going to go in there and trim it out with a contrasting paint color. It's probably going to be gold, something like that, Tina. So, but I want to get another coat of decoupage varnish on here, do the crackle, all that other stuff, and then I'll do this, because that way if I get paint on anything, I'll have varnish on here that I can just wipe the paint off of. So that's something I wanted to remind you about. It's harder to clean paint and stuff off of decoupage paper when it's not well varnished. So if you have a good coat on there, you can't hurt it really. You can just wipe it off. All right, I need to let this dry a little bit and I'll be back. Okay, we have finished touching up and painting the front. Looks like I got a little dust on there from sanding. And I am adding another coat of paint to the back heart, so we can decide what we're going to do with it. So we are going to give this heart on the back of our ornament a base of the same color, red vine. And then we're going to add some Glamour Metallic gold paint. And we're going to wipe the paint back. Now we're going to dry this. So now we're going to add the Pintart Glamour Metallic acrylic paint. Glamour Metallic is just extra shimmery sparkly as opposed to delicate metallic acrylic paint. I'm going to use a really good soft brush. With this paint. Oh, it's beautiful. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. So pretty. Wow. I love it. So I think for the sides, I'll take a small artist brush and do a saturated coat of the same gold paint. This Glamour Metallic paint, this color is called Anti-Gold. Okay, I love that. It's going to be really, really pretty. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to take a clean, like my old paint cloth here. I'm just going to get a little bit of water on it. Oh boy, that's so pretty. towel here. So, isn't that pretty, guys? Oh, beautiful paint. I love it. So we just want to go in here and dab this, okay? And be careful with this ornament because these are a little fragile, these little parts up here. So you don't want to hold them there. You just want to, I have the middle of the heart supported by this IOD silicone paint blade. It's nice and sturdy, but silicone so stuff doesn't stick. I just want to sponge this a little bit, you know? And it's like dries really fast, so oops, some of the white showed up there. So we'll just give it a little dab of gold. Okay, I think that's good. I'm happy with that. We need this to dry. Okay, so I am going to just dry pounce more of the red vine paint on top of the Glamour Metallic Antique Gold. So just a little bit on a dry brush, and then we're gonna go in with the towel and you know, sort of lift it off and sponge it off. We're just gonna go like this. See? And now I'm gonna start wiping some of it away. So we want to apply Pentart Deluxe Paste in the gold, which is a nice, bright, really beautiful gold color. So now we are going to apply the Damask 2 stencil. Our paint has dried, and this is what the stencil looks like. It's by Snip Art, and it's number 38265, and it's in the shop at myvictorianheart.com. And it's a good little stencil for, you know, the smaller projects. And we're gonna stencil in the Deluxe Paste in gold. It's a really beautiful bright gold. Deluxe Paste is nice and creamy. It goes on nicely on your projects. So I think I worked out that I wanted it like this. Because our heart up here, the design kind of stops right there. And I feel like we have to move it up more just to get more elements up here in the curves. I think that works. Okay, so go ahead and get this on here. Hold your stencil on nice and neat. Kind of hard with my fingers in the way. Guess I'm just gonna have to get it on my fingers. You can dab this on with a like a sponge or you know, a stencil brush. Just, you know, your preference. I missed some areas right here. And wash off your deluxe paste as soon as you're done applying your stuff, because it'll you know, it'll be hard to remove when it dries. Okay, I just need to get a little bit right there. Okay, all right, let's fingers crossed that this turned out nice. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So I'm gonna have to go wash this off. There you go. Okay, I'm back. Stencil's all clean. And I use the sprayer nozzle at the kitchen sink to spray off the deluxe paste, and it works really well as long as you get it, you know, right after you use it, and don't let the deluxe paste sit there and dry. Makes it much easier to clean off. But if you have stuff that does happen to get stuck on, use the Pentart stencil cleaner. That stuff works like a charm. This is what it looks like. Works really, really well. You can just spray it on and let it sit. Like, I'll put my stencil on a paper towel, and I'll put the stencil cleaner on, and then I'll just let it sit for a while. And it really helps. Okay, let's let this dry. Okay, we're back, and we are going to paint with a tiny artist brush the inside trim of the frame. And it's I'm gonna try to keep this under the camera for you. I have a bad habit of pulling it out of the frame and holding it close to my chest, because it's easier for me to paint that way. And the color that I'm using is Pentart acrylic. Well, it's called Glamour Metallic Acrylic Paint, and this color is greenish gold. Okay, it's really glittery like the Glamour Metallic and Antique Gold we used yesterday. And I really wanted to use something with green in it because of the green in the bird picture. So this type of painting on these little narrow areas is a little tricky for me. I'm not the steadiest painter, that's for darn sure. So, I mean, I just take my time. I try not to rush it and just go really slowly and carefully. And one trick I learned is when you're painting out to an edge like this, you just, you know, I barely have any paint. This paint is so nice, you hardly need any. I sweep straight outward, but very straight. I don't take the brush over the edge. I just kind of like sweep out and up, you know, to get it on the edge. And you know, anything that gets outside of there, we're going to be aging along that edge, and we're going to also do the dry brushing on of the antique gold. So it'll be okay. So we're just about done painting this. I just have to touch up this little spot right here. And this is the antique gold. And this is what we brushed on back here last night. And I also went in and just very sparsely and lightly touched it with greenish gold, Glamour Metallic. I mean, it's really hard to even tell in here. But the greenish gold has a green cast to it. But you know, it's pretty shimmery, sparkly like the antique golden. Right, so that's what we did last night. Is we just went in with a like a brush, a dry brush, and we just sort of brushed and swept a little bit, like, you know, you're just gonna barely put any on your brush, okay? And a little bit of this paint really does go a long way. So, and I'm just gonna blot it on my paper towel there to make sure it's not too much. And then you're just gonna go in and sweep it along. Very lightly, gentle, light, feathery strokes. And then just blot some of it off a little. Boy, I got way too much on that one. So I just try to go in a little bit different directions. It's just the prettiest paint. Just sort of take a step back and, you know, see if you want to add any more. So I'll just show you the paint again. It's Glamour Metallic Antique Gold by Pintart. So now I want to go in with the greenish gold, Glamour Metallic, and just tip tiny bit in there. So barely any on there, like teeny, teeny, tiny. Okay, and I'm gonna dab it onto my, oh, and I wanted to show you what this color looks like on like a white, yeah, like on my paper towel. You'll get a better idea of the color. I don't know if you can tell, but that is the greenish gold. It's really, really pretty. So let's blot that off. You don't want it to be too much at all. So we just go in. I mean, it's not a big difference, but you know, it'll catch in the light and you may be able to notice it. So just want to go here, maybe a little up top right there. A little there. And so on the sides, we're going to go in with the greenish gold. A little heavier, you know. Just sort of pounce it on there. And you know, when we add some aging mediums like antiquing paste, and of course my Amy Howard Dust of Ages that I love so much on my projects, it will mute a lot of, you know, it'll mute some of this stuff. And you know, if that's something you like. I mean, I like the agey oldie stuff, you know. So turn around. I can't really hold it anymore over here. Okay, I am happy with that. I like it. Here's the sides. And here's the back. Probably add a little more greenish gold on the back here. So there we go. So now I need to prop it on something. This part in the middle is dry. So there we go. Head back over here. Goodness. Alrighty. So let's let that dry. I think I can use like a little more here. I love it. And you know, I'm not going to be casting any clay or resin molds. I think this piece is so pretty on its own. This handcrafted Holiday Traditions ornament is just so pretty. And it doesn't need anything. We're going to do some ribbon and a bow. And I think it's just so pretty all on its own. I am going to add some crackle though. I am going to do that. Let's just let that paint dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and do our crackling. Be right back. Okay, so we are going to add the cracking gel transparent. And the reason why I've used the cracking gel transparent on the past 3 projects, it was like different kinds of ornaments, is because, and so, you know, I don't want to waste them and I want to use them. And I love cracking gel transparent. It works like a charm and easy to apply. And I get beautiful crackles for small projects. So, and you know, I've done the fine line crackle and the classic. I've done some of the others, and I'll be doing them again. But I'm going to use up this right now. So this is cracking gel transparent step 1 of 2 components, and we apply this, and you apply it over, you know, all the areas that you want to crackle, okay? So you want to, you know, cover wherever you want to have your crackles develop, because when you put on your component 2, you're going to follow the areas that you crackled. So we're just going to cover all of my little image here. I had thought before that I would just do it really sparsely, but you know, it's easier to just do the whole thing. And it dries, component 1 dries really shiny. So if you were to put it in just certain areas on a project, it would be easy to follow in with your component 2, because you would just look for the shiny spots. And then you know to... And another thing, if you make long brush strokes with both your components, you might have like long lines of crackles. So if you mix it up and go in with like short crosshatch strokes, then that will help mix it up a little bit in the style of your crackles. And I'm trying to just get this angled brush into like close to the edge here, you know? So I'm just gonna go for it. Then I'll smooth it all out. And I also meant to say, you have to use a dry, soft brush when applying these crackle mediums. Don't use a wet brush. Water is the enemy of crackle. They won't develop right if you had a wet brush. All right. So let me just smooth that out. It's a little heavy right there. I just want to mix it up a little bit there. Okay. Now, if we want to do some crackles around here, we can brush some on now. This will take about 20 to 30 minutes to dry, depending on your environment. So let's see. I think we're gonna try to like get the crackles to develop where the mostly red is, and not where all the gold, too much of the gold is. Okay, so this needs to dry, and then we can do the back. Okay. Okay, we have let cracking gel transparent component number 1 dry on our decoupage paper image, and now we're going to apply cracking gel transparent component number 2. I never know which way to hold these things, so sorry if they're upside down or backwards, guys. So we're going to use a clean, dry, soft brush, and we're going to just get this on here. And before I forget, we want to put component 2 also on all these little areas. So I'm going to look for all my little shiny spots, like with that transparent shine from applying component 1. And I focused a lot on the red areas too. So we'll let this dry now, and we'll come back and you know, check it, and it'll be about 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, the transparent cracking gel component 2 is dry, and I actually used the hot air from the heat gun. I don't hold it close, and I mean, there's a lot of really good crackles in here. They're fabulous. They're hard to see because they're very transparent. So we're gonna get our antique paste in umber, and it's my pen art. looks like this. And I like to use a little brush to put mine in. I have to wash so many of my brushes. So this is going to really darken the image a little bit, so don't panic. We can wipe it back with solvent cleaner, Pentart solvent cleaner, if we think it's too dark. So look at those delicious crackles. Awesome. We did a really good job. I love it. You know, I probably could have used the antique gold or gold antique paste in these crackles on the image. They would have shown up nicely. And I had thought of it earlier, but I'm really, really tired. And, you know, I'm not thinking very quickly. So I am going to go grab my solvent cleaner out of my cabinet right over here. I just get a nice bit of fabric that is away from my fingers. And use this stuff, use Pentart solvent cleaner in a well-ventilated area. So we're just going to get the cleaner on there. Wipe some of it out. We have some really good crackles, you know. Great. I actually wouldn't mind trying a little bit of the antique gold antique paste in here. I don't know. Maybe the gold. I'll do a little gold. Use my cloth. Just do a little bit right here. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Probably hard for the camera to catch it, but I like it. It gives it a glow, you know. I have a tendency to mix my wax paste colors into my crackles. And I like it. I think it's pretty. And then I can go in with just a little touch of antique gold, antique paste by Pentart. I don't want to do too much. But let's just see. Whoops. Boy, there's a blob on there. Okay. All right, I like it. Much better now. And I'll hold it up and see if you can get a good look at it. There you go. Turn it around. I want to age in the corner, the crevices along the design there, you know. All right, so if you can see it, turn around again. And so now we want to get some in here. Go around and dot on bits of antique paste all around where we thought we had our crackles, and I can see them. We had some develop on here, our little patches that we created. So it'll be really good, you know. Start cleaning this up. Just working this in. You need to support this top finial up here when you're pressing on it. You don't want to break it or anything. Okay. Clean this up over here. So it's very hard to see. They're so tiny, but I mean, you can see the crackles here and here, and they're along here. So they're subtle, you know. Okay, so we have to apply cracking gel transparent back here now. Okay, so we are just gonna go in. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll be the guinea pig. I am going to attempt cracking gel transparent randomly in between the deluxe paste, because the crackles probably won't show up very well on a metallic medium like, you know, deluxe paste here. I really wanted to crackle this base before I did the deluxe paste, and I just kept changing my mind about everything. And I haven't been feeling good. I was sick with the flu and stuff, and I'm trying to, just do what I can do my best. So I think this will be kind of cool. We're gonna find out, aren't we? And then we're just gonna put some there. All right, let's let that dry. I'll come back and do component number 2. Okay, Now that component number 1 of cracking gel transparent has dried on the back of our ornament, we're going to apply cracking gel transparent component number 2. I want to look for that transparent shine from crackle transparent cracking gel step 1 that it leaves behind. Okay, that's it. And I just need to go in with my little brush and clean up any gooeys that are inside the flourishes here. Drives me nuts. Let this stuff dry. And we'll be back. Okay, the cracking gel transparent second component has dried on the back, and I added just a touch of Antique Paste and Umber by Pentart to test it out. The crackles are really tiny back here, and I don't want it too saturated or dark because I think this is really pretty color back here, so I don't want to ruin it. But I like it. I think it's actually just what I was aiming for. I didn't want too much, and so we're just gonna add a couple extra touches in there, and then the little bits that we did up here. Find the little shiny spots. Then we'll rub it in with a cloth. Okay. So, and the deluxe paste has dried nicely overnight. It's nice and sturdy. I mean, I'm being gentle, but you know. And around the sides here. So I'm going to try to hold this really close. There is a patch of little tiny crackles there and there, and here, and here, and here, and here. And they're pretty subtle. And then up here on the back of the finial, they're here and here and here. So pretty random, very subtle. Okay, I love it. So the last step is to add the clear varnish gloss. Okay, so this is Pentart Clear Varnish Gloss. And so I just brush mine on. I just dip my brush in. Okay, and I just gently brush on to my project. we got it pretty good. I feel like I need a little extra right there. And you can always go back and do another coat if you thought you needed it. So, a good soft dry brush when you're applying this stuff is what you need as well. And you just let this sit on a stable flat surface to dry. Okay, so there you go. All nice and glossy. And after this side dries, I'll do the other side. Clear varnish gloss, you have to use a solvent or turpentine based, which is what this is. Use a solvent cleaner to clean the clear varnish gloss off your paintbrushes. And you can use the solvent to clean the wax off your brushes too, and paint and dry it on acrylic and stuff like that. It works really well. It's a good cleaner. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you love the project, and I hope you're inspired to make something beautiful and creative. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.